Hey guys, I think this is a first for me. I'm going on a trip to get a TV. Nothing unusual about that, except it's not for me. With a friend of mine. He saw it set on Craigslist, and it sat there for a while, but finally decided to get it, so here we go. Sitting in traffic on a lovely Sunday afternoon. And this thing is a beast. You know, I think it's pretty fair to say the older it is, the heavier it is. I don't think there's going to be any exception. It's a big old combo unit, TV, phonograph, radio. But I also think it's going to be very well made, very solid, and pretty darn rare too. I don't think I've ever seen this model before. So, assuming we can fight our way through this traffic, I'll pick up when we arrive. Alright, we have arrived. I got a bunch of cars in the driveway. I'm guessing it's probably in the garage. Hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. It wasn't easy, but we got it in. A little bit of veneer damage on top, but other than the cabinet being a little faded and top being in rough shape, it's very intact and in pretty good shape behind those doors. Talk more about it when we get it back to my friend's place. I saw a couple prostitutes last night on Lawrence. I haven't seen that in years. North Avenue used to be crazy. Amber was all excited. She's like, "Oh, really? What were they wearing? What did they look like?"
What were they wearing? Nothing. They're open for business.
And they had the high heels and mini skirts.
There used to be a bunch by our house, but they built a church and I think they went away. This is recommended for you, and it was one of your videos. And it was a video of when you went somewhere and got that old Tektronix O-scope.
Oh yeah.
And there was a bunch of Playboy posters in there, calendars. That was funny.
I forgot about that.
So what'd you do with that Tektronix?
Still have it.
You do? Did you fix it?
No.
Oh. I just wondered.
It's a ton of work.
Right, so there's over 100 tubes.
I think it's in my garage right now.
Is that the one you said has all the audiophile tubes in it?
Some of them do.
Some of them,
I have a whole bunch of Amprex 12AX7 and 1287s. Little Bugle Boy. Yeah.
Right.
Alright, so here it is. Safe and sound. Now we gotta get it out and inside. But I'll give you a little preview. It is a Westinghouse from 1949 combo TV, radio, record player. Those may look familiar to you because this is the same TV as in my H-196 tabletop. So same chassis and everything, just slid into a big old combo console. And on mine, this strip doesn't have these nice little knobs here. You can access the hidden controls there. It's a nice touch. And this glass is a lot nicer than mine. It's got this cool etched effect on it. Anyways, and on the other side, a little hard to get at, but it's a really sweet AM/FM radio with a cool logo up top. And there's a 78 RPM record player in there. And weird the way this works, where there's actually 4 little doors you can slide out of the way. An odd design. Every other one I've seen has just 2 doors down the middle and they open up to either side. This is kind of weird, but also makes it kind of interesting. Something a little different. We figure this weighs, what, 200 pounds? Something like that. So we got to get this from down here up into there. So wish us luck. Well, step 1, we got it out of the car.
There are 2 speakers. TV has one, radio has one. So I guess there was 2 cords then.
Yeah, as near as we can make out, the TV is completely separate from the radio. Separate speakers, separate power cords, everything. There's a label, so it's an H-207. Radio 110 watts, television 260. Even came with a record. And we got the back. here. Kind of an odd thing. We were trying to figure out for a while where the heck the power cord was for the TV. Didn't realize it was built into the back and got cut off ages ago. Go on like that. So this chassis looks very familiar to me, except for that. I just noticed there is a light bulb.
There's a light bulb?
Yeah, there's a light bulb.
Why is there a light bulb?
I don't know why there's a light bulb, but there is.
That's strange.
Yeah, that'll require a little research, see if that's original or it was an add-on. Huh, I mean, I was going to say it's like a power rod indicator, but I think if you could see the tubes glowing, you'd know pretty well if it was turned on or not. Weird. Alright, to get it inside, here's a look at things. Very, very clean other than the dust. How shiny those IF cans are. So I want to test CRT. It's 10 BP4, so I'm going to hook up to my Syncor. And here we go. This has a huge, strange kind of iron trap right in here, covering up most of the neck butt. I definitely see a glow down in there. So that's a good sign. There's shorts. There's shorts. No cutoff action. And weak emissions, but that's very common for a TV that hasn't been turned on in maybe 50 years, and they are climbing, so that is good, climbing steadily. After about 5 minutes, the emissions went well into the green. Life test is pretty good. So I'd say we've got a very dependable CRT. And the cutoff is responsive now too, so cool. Kind of get the impression this thing didn't see a whole lot of use, at least not the TV side. And here's a look from the front. So with these funky 4 doors, I was saying. So, kind of weird. I guess while you just pick and choose if you want to watch TV, you do that.
Or both at the same time.
If you want to do the radio, you can do that. That's one sweet looking radio. Looks like the dial string broke, but having these doors on there really kept this interior in great condition. Here's the record player. 78 only, I think. Nifty clear plastic arm with the atomic symbol down here. Some decoration. Should clean up real nice. Westinghouse logo on there. And Buddy Hutton, doing it the hard way. So one thing we've been scratching our heads about since we saw this is the interior. It's kind of a reddish brown mahogany. But the outside, it's a different color. I was trying to convince myself that it's from sun fade, but I don't know. It's just so uniform over the entire cabinet. But it would have been so much extra work at the factory to do one side of the door one color and the rest another color. I don't know. But for sure, this needs some help. I'm thinking a complete strip down and refinish someday. But it's not my set, so not my call. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it in my spare time. So that's going to be it for the set for now. I think what I'll do is go home and pull up the service info and see if I can figure out why it's got a light bulb in there. Okay, here's a look at the Sam's PhotoFact folder for this set. I happen to have a copy from back when I worked on my TV only version, the H-196, and here is the H-207. Sam's would typically combine any model that had the same TV chassis in it, so the TV only and the combo units in the same folder, and then within it they would have separate sections for the TV and the radio. So for example, here is just the TV schematic, and it's a pretty complicated beast. Has some kind of unusual design features. For example, in the power supply they have a 5U4 and a 5V4 in parallel. We'll have secondary winding, separate filament windings, and they go to different parts of the set. 5U4 can handle more current than a 5V4, but I'm not entirely sure why. For example, in the RCA 630TS they just had two 5U4s in parallel, both filament and secondary. But in this, if you trace it out, after it's rectified, they go to separate filter caps and separate parts of the circuitry. They used a number of dual triodes, 12AX7, 12AT7, 12AU7, that help keep the tube count down, but even so, there are still a lot of tubes. It's also a little unusual. They used a 6AQ5, which I do believe is an audio output tube for the horizontal oscillator. Yeah, it's a 6AQ5 video output tube as well, and a 6AQ5 for the audio output. Maybe they got a deal on them and they wanted to buy a whole bunch in bulk. Don't know. And no signs of that light bulb. Seemed to be in kind of the horizontal circuitry, so maybe if it was on the schematic it would be down in here. So that's going to be a little bit of a mystery to solve. So they have photos of both the TV only and combo version throughout the service info. So here's the back. Here's details of the tuner, TV chassis. And these, the TV and the radio chassis are totally separate, so it is possible to restore one without the other. I think my friend is going to tackle the radio chassis first. So here it is. I like how they use the twist lock cap you'd normally see mounted on top of a chassis down below for the power supply. It's held in with a clip and wired to the lugs. Also on the parts list they have separate, I do believe, for the TV versus the radio. So look at the radio chassis. And TV. So, it'll be a fun project for sure, and I will lend my friend this copy of the service info, and if he needs any assistance I will certainly help out. Perhaps we'll see another video on this set someday, but for now that is going to be it. Hope you enjoyed this look at a Westinghouse H-207, fairly uncommon set from around 1948.